Yeah. Well, last night and today I took my son. All right. Alright, so what we're doing on this, we learned Blackberry Blossom, and we saw some little kind of squirrely notes in there in the second string at the first fret, sliding into the second fret. That's a B flat sliding into a B, and that kind of starts to imply the blues notes of that song, the Blackberry Blossom. So then we talked about a pentatonic scale, and this is a pentatonic. Here's the G blues, the G scale that's first on your tablature. Just a regular G scale, G major scale, which we learned last week. Whoops. And then we learned a pentatonic scale, which is the second scale on your tablature. And then we learned the pentatonic with the blues notes. And this is a G scale, G pentatonic scale with some blues notes or half steps thrown in between the second degree of the scale and the third degree of the scale. So this is a G scale. There's the tonic or 1. That's an A, which is the second. And then a half step above the second is A sharp or B flat. Usually we'll call it B flat in the key of E minor or G. And then we move, so we play that with our second finger, and then we slide up our second finger and play what we ordinarily played, the fourth fret, which is the B. So it's G, A, B flat with the second finger, B, then open third string D, O, 2, 5, or D, E, G. Then we're going to play the open A string, and then the first fret of the A string, which is just like the Blackberry Blossom slide thing. And first fret of the A string is a sharp or B flat. And then taking that index finger up one fret to the second fret, playing the B. And then the fifth fret of the second string. And then the open first string. Then the third fret of the first string. And then the second degree of the scale would be the A or fifth fret of the first string. And then that's a second degree, so we want to take that up one half step with that finger. That's the A sharp, B flat, and then the B, that's our highest note, then we're going back down. That is the pentatonic with the blues note. Blues note. Blues note. And we just talked about an E minor chord, which looks like this, with our second finger on the fourth fret, fourth string, our third finger on the fifth fret, third string, and our first finger over here on the second fret, second string. That's an E minor chord, one way to play it, and that's an E minor, and then a regular little G chord right here. And then we wanted to make it known that if we play the G pentatonic scale while the guys are playing G, those are all pentatonic notes I'm just throwing out of that scale. And I can play those pentatonic notes, or while they're playing a G, I can also stick those little blues notes in. In fact, the oldest bluegrass lick in the world has that half step in it. You've heard that a million times. Right? That's called the Lester Flat Run from Flat and Scruggs. And then if we use that same scale with those little half steps in it, land on the E, which is the relative minor. The relative minor E is 3 half steps down from the relative major, which is a G. So the first part of that Blackberry Blossom is in G. The second half of it is in the relative minor of E minor, which is 3 half steps down. There's the E. Here's G. 1, 2, 3. So that's the relationship between the regular major key and the relative minor. And whether we use those scales, if we land on the G, then we're landing on, kind of concentrating on the major sound of it. And if we tend to land on the E, that's what we want to land on when the guys are playing, guitar players are playing blues in E. We want to use that scale, and we want to land more on the E's than the G. It'd be okay to land on the G or other notes, but it just sounds more definitive to land on the E. So, and we learned this little riff. Open E string, and we're taking the index finger's 2nd fret and playing on the 2nd string. And then 4th fret, back to the 2nd fret, then 5th fret, then back to the 2nd fret, and then back to the 4th fret. So, and that's where you've heard that rock and roll lick that goes like this. And you play that whole blues scale all the way along to it. And that's it. And I better get to my gig. I got 19 minutes. Thank you. That is for Allison.